pulling your birth chart. So you guys don't have to know the time you were born, okay? Just, I've got to take this one off. I will stab myself in the face shortly. It will happen. Y'all know it and I know it. So what I'm going to do is pull your birth chart. I've already got Vesta pulled up in the chart, so that way as soon as I pull it up, it pops up for me. And then once I have the house that your Vesta is in, it will tell me what I need to know as far as how this retrograde is going to affect you. Because where Vesta sits tells me what's going to be on your mind the most. What are you nostalgic for a better time for? What are you longing to change, etc.? So, Miss Kathy, are you ready? Oh, let me address that real quick. So a lot of you guys were asking how my son is doing. He did have surgery yesterday. Finally had those damn tonsils out. He is doing fantastically. You don't realize how swollen something really is until it's gone. And after seeing how much they took out, I kind of was flabbergasted with how swollen his throat actually had gotten. So, yeah, it made me a little mad all over again that the last time he was in the hospital, they didn't just take them out, that they've let him deal with this for almost 3 months. And it's not just me, it's been our whole family, people around us, etc., dealing with this, because it's been really bad. So, all right. So Miss Kathy, I already have your chart pulled up here. So your Vesta sign currently, right now, at this moment, actually, it doesn't. It sat in your 6th house when you were born. Gotcha. I was like, I guess I could do it for right now because it's not going to matter when you're born, right? All right. So Miss Kathy, your Vesta sits in your 5th house and it's in Leo. So the 5th house is it's 3 different main aspects of your life. And I'm going to say one last because I know just from doing a couple of readings, that is what is going to be affecting you the most with this. So Vesta is a planetary sign in birth charts. It's not one a lot of people are familiar with because it's actually an asteroid. So while it comes in and out just like the planets do, it does have a lot different with it. Does that make sense? So Vesta governs your home, your heart, your nostalgia, what you long to have better. So when it's in retrograde, that's the thing that's going to affect you the most. So Miss Kathy, yours is in the 5th house and it's in Leo, which is a fire sign, and it's all of the, ooh girly, it's all of the turmoil. So the 5th house is creativity. It's also risk-taking and children. And I left that one last on purpose just because I know that I have done a few readings for you lately and your boys have been fighting and so on. Yeah, tonsils and adenoids, tonsils especially, are nothing to screw around about. So being that your kiddos are already fighting, this retrograde is going to be a little tough on you. One of the things that you're going to really be wanting to have change is going to be your boys to go back to a time when they didn't fight all the damn time. Being that it's in Leo, though, here's the thing. You're going to have to fight not jumping in the middle, because your Vesta is in Leo right now and your moon is also in your 5th house. You're going to have to really fight not jumping in the middle of everything with them, not making it worse. Does that make sense? Because I know sometimes with my kids, mine are both Leos, so I know with mine, when they argue, if I say anything, y'all know where I was going with that. If I say anything. So, being that your Vesta is in Leo, it's going to be really tough on you. It's going to be really tough on you to not really get in the middle of things. You're going to be asking them, like, I don't understand why guys can't get along. I don't understand why you can't act like you did last week or last year or last month or whatever. You're also going to have some problems with creativity, with your own creativity, with looking at things in a different way. This is also not going to be a good time to take any risks, to take any new jobs on, any new projects, anything that could be a little risky that could cost you in the long run. This is not going to be the time to do that, because it's just not. With it being in retrograde in your 5th house, it's going to affect all of those. So with the children aspect being in retrograde, a lot of your boys' fights are going to dredge up stuff from your childhood with you. So you are going to have some evenings where you're going to be really overthinking things from your own standpoint, if that makes sense. And when I say your own standpoint, you're going to be looking back at how things affected you when you were a kid, why they're not affecting them the same. And you know why, but you know, at the same time, it's like, why can't you deal with it the way I deal with it? It's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be tough. The good thing about Vesta retrograde is it's not that long. It's only a month or so, a couple months. I know that sounds like a horrendously long time when you're in the midst of all this turmoil, but it's really not. It's really not, okay? The other good thing about this is it's not in Virgo. It's in your Leo. Now, your moon is in Virgo with Vesta in the 5th house, which is why you're going to be overthinking things a lot. I'm just letting you know. So, the interesting thing too, I just noticed your Mercury is right on the line of your 4th and 5th house, which is your communication. It's also technically in Leo. So, you're going to really be ready to jump on their butts. I'm just saying, you're going to be ready to jump on their butts when they don't listen. So actually, in a way, feel kind of bad for them if they decide not to listen to you. I love you too, Kathy. So, yeah. It's going to be an interesting month or so for you, girl. Yeah. All right. Let me go back to my list here. I have to like adjust back and forth. It's kind of a pain in the butt because I have to have 2 screens open at the same time. Thank you, Miss Kathy Pooh. I love you too. All right, Miss Joy Davidson. Let me see here if I have pulled your chart up already. I don't know if I've done a chart for you. Let's find out. Nope, brand new squeaky clean chart. So give me just a minute to get this up. Ah, there you are. All right, my dear. Okay. So your Vesta made a big jump. So your Vesta when you were born was in your 1st house, which is appearance, your outer personality, and how other people see you. Now it has jumped to your 12th house. And it is in your karma and past lives, along with your Saturn, which is karma. So, being in retrograde, here's the thing. And it's in your Gemini. Okay, so this is actually going to be a good retrograde for you. Because you have Saturn there, and it's already in karma, which is your 12th house, and your Vesta, you're going to have a lot of hidden emotions that are going to get brought to the forefront. The good thing about that is it's going to clear some bullshit. It's going to clear some bullshit. When it clears some bullshit, it's going to allow you to clear some karma as well. And it's actually not going to be too tough of an issue, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. So, I love that you're going to name your son Bodhi. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, just to let you know, Bodhi is actually short for Bodhisattva. It is a Buddhist term for someone who gives up their own enlightenment to help others find their enlightenment. So, it's a very unique name. So, all right, Miss Joy. So, and the thing is, Vesta and Saturn are firmly in the middle of your 12th house. Like, they're firmly in the middle of it. I would not be surprised if over the next couple of months you let some people kick rocks. And it's not even going to be in a bad way. You just kind of tell them, I'm out. The Gemini aspect is really going to play a big role here, and that you're going to feel very dualistically about things. You may have two people that do the exact same thing. Say they lie to you. And one of them you may deal with, you may fix things, and the other one you may tell them to kick rocks, even though it's the exact same thing. Trust your gut on these. Trust your gut on these, because when these aspects come up while Vesta is in retrograde, there is going to be a lot of karma and a lot of past life issues that pop up. And they can literally be like, done. Like you can get a whole bunch of shit accomplished soul-wise over this next month, girl. Like, this is actually a really good thing for you. Really, really good thing for you. I'm just saying. So, does that make sense, Miss Joy? I'm looking to see if you had any questions. Good, I'm glad. So yeah, this is going to be a great retrograde for you. So guys, whenever you hear that something's in retrograde, it's not always a bad thing. It's really not. It's really, really not. Depending on what house that particular sign falls in for you, it can be a really good thing, or yeah, it can be a bad thing. But for the most part, people get super afraid of Mercury retrogrades, and it's just communication. So it can work out good or bad for you. So yeah. Yeah, the energies were really crazy today, love. So I know that a couple of you guys were asking about the ones that I didn't finish a couple weeks ago. I messaged a couple of you, but I think I got sidetracked and didn't get them all out. So I'm going to make sure that I get the rest of you messaged probably tomorrow or this evening if I can't sleep. Miss Pam, I know you're on there. Okay. Like on my list. I don't know if I got you messaged or not. All right, there we go. Miss Carrie Beeman. I think I've already got you in here. And I will probably have to go take a pee break in a minute because I've been trying to drink my fair share of water today. Here's Miss Carrie. Oh, your Vesta was in your 4th house when you were born with your son and your communication. You are a very, very family-oriented person. Like, that means a lot to you. Nurturing and taking care of people really means a ton to you. It needs a ton to you. Needs, means, words. Means a ton to you. Okay, so let's see where it's shifted to. Wow. So it's now in Cancer for you, meaning all the emotions. And it's exactly on the line between your 2nd and 3rd house, meaning it's going to go back and forth between 2 different things. Let's talk about the 2nd house, because your communication, your Mercury is there, and it's also in Cancer. It's right on the Cancer Gemini line there. The 2nd house is finances and spending. Being that retrograde sits on this line with Vesta with you, you're going to have to fight overspending during the next month and a half, 2 months. It's going to be really easy, and you're going to justify it with all of the words, and they're going to sound great to you, and they're actually going to sound great to other people. So, I mean, you could technically get away with it, but you're going to regret it later. So you're going to have to really, really be careful that you don't overspend, because it's on that side. Now, it's right on the line between the second and third houses. The third house is your education, your learning, your networking, and your communication. So the good thing is that Mercury is in the second house, your communication is in the second house, and Vesta is just on the line of your third. I don't think this is going to jack up your communication. What I do think it's going to jack with a little bit is your ability to know the right people to network with things that you're working on. It's like you're going to be feeling like you need to talk to this person over here and not knowing why, but trusting your gut and doing it anyway, when you actually needed to talk to these people over here. So just be careful who all you talk to about things, about everything, especially when it comes to finances, okay? The other aspect that I think it's going to really affect you in is learning anything new. Being that Vesta is in retrograde, you're going to be going back to when you first started your spiritual journey, and that nostalgic feeling of, man, I remember, when I first started this and I wanted to learn everything. And you're going to kind of get back into that mode of, I want to learn everything. So it's going to be very easy for you to overwhelm yourself this month as well. So absolutely be super careful when it comes to diving back into your spirituality and overspending, because I know it doesn't take anything but breathing for me, and I can overspend on shit. So hello in the Philippines, love. Spending is going to be a big issue. Spending is going to be a big issue. I'm just letting you know. So you're going to have to really be careful not to buy all of the rocks, all of the stones, all of the books. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to be careful. I would put your wallet in like witness protection or whatever it needs to be. So you're not like, let me just buy all the things, all of them, every bit. Because that's what you're going to want to do. So you kind of have a double-edged sword there. I think that even though learning is going to be affected, it is going to remind you of how awesome it was to want to learn all of these things when you first started your spiritual journey. So grab onto that. Just don't buy all the things. Just saying. You might have to give yourself a limit. If that's even possible. Is that even possible with spiritual stuff? Because if someone can actually do it, I would love to know how. Just saying. So, all right. So, guys, I see people on YouTube and stuff asking about people that are supposed to be me from my account reaching out to you. Guys, those are fake accounts. I will never reach out to you guys from any account. I have this account, my backup account. I don't get on it very much, but it is the Blue Bodhi 2, TOO. Neither one of my accounts have extra letters, numbers, hashtags, slash marks, exclamation, none of that. So, and I will never reach out to you guys. So just let you know. If you do have me reach out to you and say grand rising, first of all, I never say that. And second, say that I'm drawn to give you a reading. Please, you have my permission to waste their time as much as you would like, and then report and block them. But yeah, absolutely. Waste your time. Waste their time. Not your time. Waste their time. You have some fun. You waste their time. How about that? So yeah. All right, Karen, Miss Karen Wood, you're next. I have to go take a pee break real quick though, or I'm gonna die. And I'll be right back. So I have Karen, Siley, Crystal, Julie, and several more down there, but those are my next ones. So I will be right back, y'all. All right, did you miss me? I was about to die because I don't know how hot it is where y'all are, but it was 105 here today without the heat index, and I'm gonna go ahead and send this back. I think this weather is broken and it is not what I ordered. So I'd like to return it. Thank you, love. I'd like to return it for something better. I don't know about y'all, but I'd like to return it for something better. I'm kind of out. You know what I mean? Alrighty. I love that. I genuinely want to do a mass purge in my life after the Reiki session from earlier. So here's what's interesting. Hell, I don't think y'all in Texas could handle it because I know it's hotter than that down there. So here's what's interesting. A lot of people are feeling like that right now. So whatever it was that was blocking you from that apparently got cleared out. So, all right, Miss Karen, let's pull you up here, girl. There you are, my little Taurus friend. All right, where is your Vesta? So your Vesta was in Cancer when you were born, okay? In your 7th house, gotcha. So being that your Vesta was in your 7th house in your Cancer, oh my gosh, you are a super emotional, significant other. Things mean so much to you. Like that's your strong point. Okay. I see you now. So one of the things that's interesting, guys, and most people, Vesta is not something that's in most birth charts. Sometimes you can find it. I don't know if Cafe Astrology does it in theirs, but sometimes you can find it. The program I have, I'm able to put it in. It really, really governs how you are in relationships. It governs how you see them. It also governs how, like, your grandparents, your parents, your aunts, uncles, like seeing other relationships around you, it governs how those are to you, how they affected you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I have some incense going and I think that it's kind of jacking up my throat a little bit. Oh, probably won't burn that ever again. All right, so let's see where your Vesta goes now. So it moves down to your 6th house with your Saturn, and both are in Leo. Okay. So I'm trying to watch comments on 2 different phones here. So 6th house is service to others. It's also your health. And it's also the type of work that you're involved in. So here's the thing with how Vesta retrograde is going to affect you. Again, another Leo placement. Being that your karma planet's here too, you're going to swing wildly in 2 ways. One, there's going to be some aspects, some people, etc., that you overwhelm them and yourself with how much you're doing for them. As in, you completely dive into being of service to them. There's going to be other people that you used to do everything for that suddenly you're like, nope, not doing it anymore. And it's going to be in a very loud way. It's going to be very obvious. Not that you're going to come out in front of their face and say it. You might if they push you. Health is going to be the big thing here because it's going to have a good effect on you, this retrograde, where it sits. Because you're going to be thinking back about, you know, when I was this age or that age, I used to do this or go here or play this sport or whatever. I used to be more active, or I used to do this or that. It's going to make you want to get back to doing some of those things. And I'm going to say go for it, because just don't overdo yourself. Don't break yourself, please. But it's going to be a good thing to get you out of a rut you've been in. So aside from maybe diving in too deeply with helping other people, you're just going to have to make sure you have a balance there, that you kind of check yourself, you know, when you feel like I might be doing too much, I might not be doing anything for this person or that person. Just make sure that you're paying attention, okay? Just make sure that you're paying attention. But it's going to be a good thing for your health, love. It's going to pull you out of a rut you've been in. And I think that's, you've already felt that way. So even though Vesta retrograde started today, like earlier today, about noonish my time, everybody feels the effects for a few days before. Because it's just like, well, it's just like anything. Even though it takes a long time for a planet to get, you know, around the sun, it doesn't just go into retrograde like that. Like, oh, retrograde. No. So when Mercury retrograde hits, everybody starts feeling communication issues for a few days to a week or two before. With Vesta, I would say maybe up to a week. Maybe up to a week. You could have been feeling it a little before then, depending on how sensitive you are. And being that your Vesta when you were born was all about your significant other, your family, you know, being friendships, things like that. Those have probably started to seem different to you as well, in a good or bad way. Like you're seeing the ones that are positive, you're seeing the ones that are negative. Like, yeah. That's funny. You felt this exact thing. Yeah, the health thing is going to be very good for you, because I think you're realizing you've been in a rut. You don't think you know what I mean? When we look back at things like that, we're like, huh, I don't know why I feel like this. Maybe I have been in a rut. You know, it kind of blindsides you a little bit, but yeah, it's going to be a really good thing for you, Karen. I mean, seriously, it's going to be a really good thing. And being in Leo, there's a fire under your ass to do it. I have full faith in you that you will. That you'll change a lot of things. And yeah. Thank you, love. So yeah, having a fire sign that's in can be good or bad. And like I said, in this aspect, it's good, because that's some drive to do it. And I think that's fantastic. So, and I have a feeling that you're going to clear out some stuff that you didn't even realize was gunking up your path. So, you're welcome. You're super welcome. See, retrogrades aren't all bad, guys. All right. So I saw that Sass is posting the list. Thank you, Sass. So I have Siley Richardson. And I would bet, let me see if I have your chart, sugar. Well, let's go one more page. Nope, you get a brand new squeaky clean chart too. If the music's too loud, guys, let me know, and I will totally turn it down just a little bit. I just realized that it might be a little too loud. Because I forget that the phones are like right there. All right, Miss Sally. See what's up with you here. All righty. So your Vesta, when you were born, is in your 8th house, along with your Saturn. Interesting. I find it very interesting that several of you guys have had your Saturn and your Vesta together. I'm curious if they stay together when I shift it, because I'm looking at when you were born right now. And both of those are in Aries. So your 8th house deals with your intimate side and how you view your future financially, how you take care of your future financially. So those two things are very important to you. And being in Aries, you tend to make snap decisions with both of them. All right, so let's see. Let's roll the dice. No, I'm just kidding. Wow, so here's what's really interesting is that your Vesta and your Saturn stay in Aries, but they've moved to your 6th house. So you're going to be in a similar boat with Karen. In fact, you and Karen probably ought to be pen pals or buddies right now, because yours is a little different in that you're going to have to be careful to not make a lot of snap decisions and take on too much as far as doing things for other people. With her, where it's going to be one or the other. With you, you're going to have all this energy and want to go, yep, I can do all that. Yep, I can do all that. Yep, I can do all that. And then suddenly a week later, you're like, oh, what the fuck did I just do? So you're going to have to really have some checks and balances on yourself with how much you actually can take on. Because being in Aries, it is a little bit impulsive. And so you're going to want to do the things, because you're going to think about, man, when I was younger, I used to do that. I can totally do that for you. You know, oh, I did that growing up. I can totally do that. So you're going to equate it back. Well, I already know how to do it, so I might as well just do it. So you're going to have to be careful you don't overload yourself. Now, this is also type of work and health. One thing I am going to kind of recommend is to be careful you don't make snap decisions about your finances, your job, like job wise, because you're going to have the itch to do that. So your Vesta is like right on the Taurus line there. It's not, it's in Aries, but it's like literally like the next line. With you, health-wise, it's going to affect you a little differently. Whereas Karen is going to want to start, your classes start in August. Let me see here. What'd you say? Gotcha. So with your health, it's going to be a little different. Whereas with Karen, she's going to be wanting to get out and do things she used to do and so on. With you, it's more looking at things like, I think I need to eat better. I think I need to take better care of myself. Like, it's going to be really looking at, I have a feeling that you're going to have some health issues that really smack you in the face. Not bad, but just enough little bitty tiny things that really start you looking at your overall health. So just know that's coming. You're going to be ready to make some changes. Just make sure if you make snap changes, they're ones that you can stick to. Because being in that Aries house is, you're going to be making some snap shit. So, you know, throwing out all the food and buying all this other stuff and then going, I am not going to eat that. Where are my Oreos? So, have you really? Yeah, it's always funny to see how accurate these are when you're looking at someone's chart. Like it's crazy. It's super crazy. So I'm looking at where some of your other placements are. You really don't have much around those two either. So the good thing is there's not going to be a lot that is going to muddy the water there. Does that make sense? You're not going to have a lot of things that cause problems with those, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing, actually. So don't throw all the food out and buy food you won't eat. I mean, unless you're actually going to eat it, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, and just be careful that you don't overwhelm yourself, honey. Okay? Yeah. See, other areas are going, yep, I do that. That's funny. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. All right, Miss Crystal. Ah, stop it. I'm like trying to click on the thing and it kept putting this weird little black box up instead. I'm like, no, I need you to work. I need you to do the things correctly. Oh, wrong one. There you are. What are we listening to? What are we listening to? This is making me sleepy. There we go. I was like, this is making me kind of sleepy. It's probably not a good thing. Don't make me sleepy. Another January, baby. Oh, yay. I just got a news alert that said scientists have detected a bus-sized asteroid that will fly by, and that's all I caught. Gotta love it. Apparently, there was an asteroid that went, that was seen in New Zealand today. Wow. Crystal, I'm looking at your chart, and the reason I said wow, so the 12 houses, they start here, and they go up and around like this, right? Like a wheel, okay? And usually signs are spread out all along it. Oh, no, yours are not. They're all in the bottom. They're all in the bottom 6 houses. Every single one of them. But all your lines, everything, there's a lot of triangles there. So overall, you're actually, okay, you have more air and water than you do. So you are super hyper fixated on details, and you tend to float off into space sometimes, getting hyper fixated on those details. Okay. So your Vesta is in Sagittarius when you were born, in your 3rd house, which is learning, networking, communication, which means you communicate best when you see things in writing. You also learn best by having a cheat sheet, by having things written down in front of you. Gotcha. Gotcha. Wow. So I sped your chart up to now. All your signs are, they're even more squished now. So instead of being in 6 houses, they're in 4. They're like, they've shifted at least. Your Vesta is still in your 3rd house. And it's in Virgo. Okay. So, here's what's going to happen for you. I can tell just from your chart, from the way it shifted to now, that you have gotten even more hyper focused on life itself. That instead of being hyper focused on a lot of things, you now have complete areas of stuff that you've just cut out. You're just like, I don't even have time for that. Like you've kind of put things on the chopping board and they're gone. Like you don't even want, I'm not even going to do that anymore. Like you literally don't even get any more thought. So a lot of people here would be super jealous of that because it's almost like a switch, like a light switch. You have turned it off and you're done. You okay? Was that cold?
Yeah, the water that was in there flicked down my fucking chest. That was some horse shit.
My son's in here getting something to eat and he just spilled cold water down in front of him. You okay?
It was on the top of the lid, so whenever I closed it, it just
So, Ms. Crystal, with you, being that your Vesta is in retrograde in the same house that was in when you were born, and it's actually right on the line. Well, it's over in the third house. So here's going to be the things that are going to bother you the most with this. You're going to have some issues with learning. You're going to have some issues with your communication because in your third house is also your Mercury and your Venus. So you're going to have some problems communicating how you feel about people, like when it comes to love and, you know, relationships. You're going to have some problems communicating with things you're trying to learn, things you're trying to teach other people. And I wouldn't be surprised if you kind of shut down a little bit over the next month and a half or so. Because I can tell from your chart that you are that person that when you communicate, it's important. You don't over communicate. And right now, your Mercury technically sets in, okay. This is an Aquarius. So you're absolutely going to shut down. I fibbed. Your Vesta is in Capricorn, not Virgo. But you're going to be shut down. Just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. You might just pre-warn the people around you. I'm sitting here looking at this like, oh no. Because Mercury is also in retrograde right now. So for you, let me say it that way. Not quite retrograde. It's just fucking with you. Yeah. Yeah, I would just wear a sign around your neck that says, I have completely shut down and don't talk to me. I'll talk to you again in 2 months. Like, it's going to be tough for you, girl. It's going to be tough for you. And the fact that it's in Capricorn, you're going to be so hard-headed about it. It's not even funny. I mean, it's not even funny. I'm a Capricorn. I can flat say that we're some hard-headed fucks. Like, we really are. There's a reason we're the goat. We are hard-headed. Yeah. Love that. It's gonna jack with you a little bit. So the good thing is your sun right now is in Aquarius too, and Aquarius people are pretty generous and pretty jokey and laughy and fun to be around. So you might change your personality a little bit too and be a little more goofy. People are really going to not know what the hell is going on. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's like, figure out if I'm going to be nice today or not. So yeah. But man, that's crazy that your chart is still so compact and has gotten even more compact. That's crazy, girl. That's crazy. So I will say that your Vesta is super close to the line between your second house. And I feel like I need to say something about that. Like your second house is finances and spending habits and your personal possessions. So keep an eye on those two. Like don't let that get too off kilter either. I don't think you're going to have a problem with overspending, but just kind of not giving a shit. Does that make sense? Just not giving a shit. So yeah. A Capitaurus. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Nobody's moving you, are they? That's funny. I mean, funny and not funny. You know what I mean? So, Crystal, it'll be fun in a couple months to see how this has really affected you. How it's affected you. If you've, completely cut everybody off or whatever. Wait, I just clicked on the wrong thing. I'm like, what just happened? Because instead of just clicking on Julie's name, I don't know what I did. I clicked on something completely different. All right, Miss Julie Tibbs, you ready, girl? See if I've got you in here already. I do not. So Miss Julie gets a squeaky clean chart too. Pisces. Okay, Miss Julie, I'm looking at where your Vesta is when you were born. It's in your 12th house in Libra. Ooh, you came here to clear out some serious past life shit. I'm sorry. Sorry. Seeing Vesta in your 12th house with Libra, girl, you came here to clear out some shit. Like your soul is seriously clearing some shit. Not only is it clearing some shit, but you're also learning what actually makes your soul happy. So you've gone through some hardcore crap this lifetime. A lot. Like an overwhelming amount. So everybody goes through shit. You know what I mean? So literally everybody goes through shit. But with you, it's been like an overwhelming amount of shit. Good and bad, an overwhelming amount. Yeah. Okay. Let me take me some Tylenol. You're welcome. I'm glad that made you happy. It would make me happy, for somebody to tell me that. I'm like, fuck yeah, good. This wasn't for nothing. Alrighty. So let's see where your Vesta is now. Dang, I had to find it. Still in Libra. Literally on the line between your 10th and 11th house. Okay. Okay. Well, you ready, Julie? So it's still in Libra. So it's still a lot of air, a lot of communication, and a lot of intuition. Being that it's literally on the line, it's going to affect you, and you just take on all the shit. You're just like, you know what? Let's just do all of it. Let's just do all of it at the same time. Girl. Okay. So let's start with your 10th house first. Your 10th house is your reputation, it's your career, and it's your public self, your persona, what you put out. Look at you, I don't know. Being that it's in retrograde on this line. Okay. You also have Neptune and your Pluto. Okay. Your 11th house is your hopes, your wishes, your organizations, and the groups that you belong to. And groups don't necessarily mean like groups on Facebook or whatever. This is like families and, professional groups if you belong to any. But being that you're riding the line here with this Vesta, you're going to be meshing a lot of these things together. Because you have your Neptune here, and that's the planet of fantasy and illusion. So here's what's going to suck about that. Because with the hopes and wishes, there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to realize in this retrograde that aren't going to I don't want to say they're foolish hopes because they're not, but they're things that I think you're going to realize you've got to let go of. They're not big things, but they're just things you've held on to for a long time. And I think it's going to be really hard for you to let them go. It's going to be really hard for you to let things go. So if anybody knows Julie personally, she's going to need lots of hugs, and she's going to need a mega pint and some chocolate. Okay? I'm just letting, maybe some tacos and some cake. I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. Or you can get those for yourself, Julie. I'm just saying. Come hang out with us. We'll eat all the tacos. Like, I may not be able to eat the cake, but, you know, we can totally do this. But you're going to have some hopes and dreams that you're going to have to let go of, that you're going to have to shift, that you're going to have to realize are not in your cards this time around. Does that make sense? And a lot of times, guys, when that happens, it's hard because you have to grieve that thing. You have to grieve letting go of that dream. Even if it's something you just had for, you know, a 2 weeks. It's still something that you thought about, you gave a lot of time to, you gave your energy to. So give it time, grieve it. You're also going to have to really integrate your public self and your career with some groups. I take that back. It's not that you're going to have to, it's that they're going to try to integrate. And it's going to fail miserably. So when someone comes to you at work or, you know, school or whatever it is and says, hey, you know, I want you to come do this and we're going to do this. It might sound great, but you are going to, in your gut, be like, hell no. Somehow you're going to get talked into it. And all I can say is just carry you a bucket of popcorn and watch it from the outside. I mean, that's really all I can say. It's going to be good times. It's going to be good times. So, it's going to be good times. But the good thing is it's going to help you deal with a lot of insecurities with your public self. It's going to help you get over a lot of those. I think it's really interesting that you have all that stuff. There's a lot of pinpoints that hit there too. So I'm glad that you're still on the tacos. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. So I'm glad. So yeah, you're going to need all the tacos this month. Just saying. Next month and a half, all the tacos. So Julie has a free pass. Julie, you can tell everybody, hey, my spiritual advisor said that I need all the tacos because I'm having to integrate some shit in Vesta Retrograde. And they're going to go, okay, and just hand you the tacos. So there you go. I'm just going to have to get a prescription pad. I think that's a great idea. I'm going to start writing prescriptions for tacos. What do y'all think? I think that's fantastic. What do you think? I want a prescription for tacos. I don't know about y'all. Everybody gets a prescription for tacos. Everybody watching right now. Your spiritual advisor has said you have an open prescription for tacos and a mega pint of your chosen beverage, even if it's water. Just saying. All the tacos. I volunteer as tribute, you guys. There you go. Blanket prescription. So, of course, I'll explain what Vesta is for those of you guys just popping in. So, Vesta is a planet, and I'm going to put that in air quotes, placement in your birth chart. It's actually just an asteroid, but it rotates on the same kind of orbit that planets do. So, it does affect your birth chart. It's not something that everybody reads. You can find it sometimes on different free charts here and there. But Vesta governs your nostalgia, your home life, your family, things like that. The nostalgia aspect is really, really big with it. So just normally it can affect you in some interesting ways. You know, like if it's in, say, the house that is your marriage, It tells me that you really are governed by your view of marriage from when you were a kid. So if you had your parents, your grandparents, everybody stayed married for 60 years, like that's what you expect. If it's in retrograde, however, then those things can be completely the opposite. So you might start looking at, say you've been married for 35 years and you know you're going to be with this person forever. You've already felt that, and then suddenly you're like, I hate you. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of flip with retrograde with Vesta. Did that make sense? May not have been the most eloquent example, but I felt that was pretty straightforward. So, Miss Julie, all the tacos. You can have all the tacos. So, there you go. You can have all the tacos, Julie. So, let's see. I have Keisha, Dawn, Amber, Sharon, Teresa, Mariah, Amy, and Lorianne. All right, Miss Keisha. Let's pull you up here, girl. All right. You're welcome, Miss Julie. Oh, there we are. I guess I could look for the K's, right? I didn't think I'd seen your name, Miss Keisha, but I figured I better look. Because there's been some time I'm like, I don't really remember reading for you, but that doesn't mean shit. Because my brain, it doesn't know what it's doing sometimes. I'm just saying. Oh, you bastard. Oh, you bastard. Okay. There we go. There we go. Gotcha. Yeah, that tells me that your Vesta is probably in one of the different houses that deal with marriage, family, intimacy, things like that. Things like that. All right, Miss Keisha Poo. Ooh, you're Vesta. You were born under a Vesta retrograde. Okay. So Keisha, you were born under Vesta retrograde, meaning this is not really going to have an effect on you at all. In fact, it's going to be a very good thing for you. And your Vesta sits directly on a major line between the 9th and the 10th houses. Ooh, there's my first yawn. In fact, it's just slightly over the 10th. The 10th is career, public relations, the self, the public self. But the 9th house in your chart is humongous. It's one of your bigger houses. That's your higher education, your belief system, traveling. Okay. You're really a smart cookie. Okay. You like to learn shit. You like to learn weird. Well, I'm not going to say weird. You like to learn pinpointed shit. Things that most people don't know. I would bet you have a massive amount of useless trivia that blows people's minds. Not just like, did you know dogs and bees can smell fear? It's like crazy pinpointed interesting shit. All right. So let's see where your Vesta moved to now. Okay. So it's still in Libra for you. And it is in your 8th house now. Okay. So, your 8th house is your intimacy and your financial legacy. So, this is going to be a good retrograde for you. It's a good retrograde in that you're going to feel more like yourself. You're going to feel way more like yourself. So, and I mean that like intimacy wise. So if you have a significant other, they probably ought to watch out. They need to drink some Gatorade. But as far as the financial legacy, that's the one I'm looking at the most, because Next to you over here is Pluto, and that is personal power, and both of them are at 4 degrees. So I'm going to advise against making any humongous moves with your retirement, with your future. Okay? Be really careful, because you're going to have a lot of things that pop up that are going to seem really cool and really good. Not too good to be true, but like just really good. You know what I mean? I'm going to advise you to be really careful. Be really careful. Because you don't want to overwhelmingly change where you're going later. Does that make sense? Because if you make too many changes now in the sake of for the sake of change, let me say it that way, just for the sake of change, you're going to take yourself in a completely different direction, and it may not be the best one. So be really careful, and don't make a ton of changes financially during this retrograde, because you're going to have all the opportunities to, but it's not the right time. 4 is also a very important number. Like they just keep standing out. You have 4s all over the place too. 24, 14, 46, 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah. 4 is going to be a very, very important number for you too over the next couple months. So be paying attention to things that happen in 4s, when 4s pop up, and all of that stuff. Because it's going to be a big thing for you. A big thing for you. So, yeah. Look at you guys already planning out the days according to food and drink. That's funny. All right, Miss Dawn Dominguez. Pretty sure I don't have you, but let me look. Nope. Was that 3rd? 4th? 3rd? I don't remember. Oh, a Cappy. Miss Dawn's a Cappy. From New York. You like my Oklahoman New York accent? Alrighty. So, all right, let's see where your Vesta is when you were born. Was when you were born. Okay, I would like for you to catch up. What's up with this? Why? Okay, thank you. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life right now, sir? Oh, Lord. All right. Okay. So when you were born, your Vesta and your... What is up with you guys with the Vesta and Saturn and Aries? Shit. Your Vesta and your Saturn are in Aries, and they're in your 7th house, which is marriage, significant others, relationships. So you have some karmic bonds there. It also tells me that while marriage, relationships, friendships... What the hell? Why am I yawning again? Ah, stop it, Mandy. Okay. While those are really important to you, sometimes you tend to make snap decisions with it. There you are, Miss Keisha. I'm glad that you saw that. So I didn't know where you were, if you were YouTube or here on the TikTok. So I'm glad you're on here. I thought, well, she's probably just gonna watch it later. So I'm glad that you're on here. So be careful of decisions you make with your future, for future finances during retrograde. All right, Miss Dawn. So, wow. Okay, that's... I had to go back and look at your chart because it went from kind of spread out pretty decently to like 4 little areas. You are a much more balanced person. Ooh. Okay, you ready? Your Vesta, your Moon, and your Saturn are all in your 6th house. Your Moon and your Vesta are in Taurus, and your Saturn is still in Aries. This means, there's going to be a lot of things that it's like you're wanting to change them, but at the same time, something is just planting your feet in the ground where you can't change them. Some of it is with your health, but some of it is the way you act around other people. It's almost like sticking your feet in the dirt on all of these things that are not good for you to do. You're going to have issues pop up that have to deal with your health, that have to deal with how you help other people, how you are in service and you nurture other people. Now, being that your Moon is right there with your Vesta, it's going to bring up some emotional shit. When these things pop up, it's going to bring up a lot of things that you thought were buried for a while. Why am I yawning again? Dawn, your chart's making me yawn. I didn't mean that in a mean way. I think it's really interesting that you've like super pinpointed yourself instead of being like a, you know, like really all spread out. It's like 4 little nodes. Yeah, you're gonna have to really be careful that you don't dive too far into your own head as far as your health, as far as ties to other people, as far as things that you do for other people. Because with that Saturn still in Aries right there and in the same house, I'd also be careful cutting ties. I saw that you mentioned cutting ties. I'd also be careful cutting ties because especially if it's a snap decision. Does that make sense? Because it can be the wrong thing to do. I'm really concerned about your Moon being right there. You're going to be really emotionally overthinking things. Not you being emotional, but you know how when we get something that it's like it peaks an emotion in us and then we can't stop thinking about that and that emotion. And then once we're thinking about that situation, that person, that issue, say the situation, and how it made us feel, we tend to get really worked up with it. With you, it's almost going to be like an obsession you can't let go of because it's in Taurus. So you're going to have to be really careful that you don't allow it to drag you down. Does that make sense? Because you're going to have some safe words for yourself in place when you realize that, okay, I've been thinking about this situation from 12 years ago for 3 days now. I've got to stop. You're going to have to keep your mind busy. Otherwise, you're going to really be falling down that rabbit hole with a lot of these things. So, the good thing is I don't see you taking on too much. I don't see you overwhelming yourself. And I don't see you making a whole bunch of changes health-wise, just because the majority of that is going to be with situations from the past popping back up. So just be careful there, love. Don't beat yourself up too much, and don't obsess too much. Fighting with your daughter. I'm so sorry, love. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Because Vesta is your family, it's how you see family and so on. Anybody you have an argument with family wise, like you're really going to dig your heels in and you're not giving up at all, no matter what. Even if you see 90 ways where you are wrong, you are not going to say you're wrong. Like you're not going to say you're wrong. So you're going to have to really work on that through this retrograde. Because as soon as it starts to wane, as soon as it's over, you're going to change your mind on a lot of things. So make sure that before you make a snap decision, you really think it through, but don't obsessively overthink. Does that make sense? So, but I'm not wrong. Well, I mean, you are a Cappy, so I mean, there's that. I mean, I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Us Cappies tend to do that. I'm like, well, I know that this is incorrect that came out of my face, but I'm still correct. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Am I wrong? Sometimes that's something I've worked on as I've gotten older, is actually apologizing, and instead of that, you know, I'm sorry that you feel that way, because I hate when people do that to me. Oh yeah. Well, Miss Dawn, things will get better with your daughter. Just know that I almost said planet, but with Vesta being in retrograde, it's affecting everybody. It's going to affect everybody. So just know that. But it will get better, honey. Miss Amber Lee. I didn't even click on the right thing, and I'm like, why can't I find this? Because you got to click on the right thing. Ooh, a cusp, baby. So what's funny is you are on the Sagittarius Capricorn cusp, and I would bet that you identify more with the Cappies than you do with Sagittarius, because you're just on the other side of that. You are so welcome, love. Alrighty. Ready? Look at you guys, almost at 200,000 likes. What the hell? I looked up and saw that because I saw Kelso's little message there. Y'all are awesome as shit. Look at you. Look at you. So, alrighty, Amber, ready? Kelso just posting everywhere. Margarita Mondays, Taco Tuesday. Look at you, Kelso. You're just planning everybody's week out. Really, I think that, you know, tacos are good any day of the week. I'm just saying. Thank you for the fireworks, love. All right, so. Woo, your little Vesta's up there all by its lonesome. Like all of your signs, everything is down here, like the very bottom of your 12th house to your 5th house. Everything is compact way down here. Your Vesta's way up here by itself, just like ping. And you were also born in a retrograde. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let's see where it changes, because it's barely on the Taurus side of the Taurus Aries line. Still in Taurus now. Okay, gotcha. All right. So it did shift from your 8th house down to your 7th house. And you also have a lot of things it's tied to. Okay. Interesting. You're really, really becoming a more well-rounded person. Holy cow. Like your chart went from, remember how I was saying that it was like, oh, thank you guys for 200,000 likes. Look at you. So remember how I said that everything was like compact down here? Now it's pretty spread out at this point in your life. I am going to say you have a lot of Virgo placements right now. Your Mars, your Jupiter, and your Saturn are all Virgo right now. Ugh. Okay, they're all retrograding on your chart. Cute. Okay, all right, but we're here to talk about Vesta, so let's talk about Vesta. So, all right. I'm hungry too. I'm gonna have to order tacos now, Kelso. Shit. Okay, I digress. I digress. I digress. Okay, so Miss Amber, your Vesta is still in Taurus, meaning that you are still very firmly footed in the way that you see family, the way that you look back at your childhood, etc. Not a lot of that has changed. It's in your 7th house, which is your marriage, your significant other, your friendships, your partnerships, like how you view your interpersonal relations. So, being that you were born in a retrograde, it's not going to mess with you too much. In fact, this is going to be a time where, do you have a significant other? This is going to be a time where your friendships blossom, where you develop new friendships, where love relationships, family relationships, things like that are going to be strengthened. They're going to be really, really strong because you're going to be going back and thinking, man, when I was little, like my best friend used to do this for me, so I'm going to do this for my best friend. Or, my mom, my sister, my dad, whatever, we used to do this. Let's go do this again. Like, you're really going to be pulling up a lot of things from the past, good things from the past. You know what I mean? Hey, Chewy. You're going to be pulling up a lot of good things from the past. So being that you don't have a significant other, that might affect you negatively because that pull to suddenly find one is going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But being that you're a Taurus, or that this is in Taurus, you're not going to make snap decisions. So that's a good thing. And the fact that you were born under a retrograde is also a good thing for you. So you don't have a ton to worry about. I mean, you might be a little lonely, a little more so than normal, just because you're going to be feeling that pull to have somebody in your life. But as far as friendships and family and partnerships go, like at work, coworkers, things like that, like you're really going to be feeling the need to go out of your way to do nice things for them. And I would say absolutely do it, because right now the world needs a lot more nice things. And yeah, you're just going to be in a fantastic mood. So you should buy Ray tacos. But it's going to be a great retrograde for you, love. And as long as you don't rush into dating, yeah, I mean, this could be the time when you do find a significant other. You know what I mean? So be open to that. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Be open to it. If somebody does come into your life, don't jump into it, though. You know what I mean? Don't make a snap decision, but be open to it. Okay? So, yeah. I always like it when I'm like, oh, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy cheese for you. You're just going to sail right through it. All right, Miss Sharon Brown. Let's see here. Who also gets a squeaky clean chart. Not like I make marks on or anything, so it's kind of funny. I don't know. I guess it's just because I got to make a brand new one. So you guys, since you guys hit 200,000, would you guys like to know? Would you guys like to know a little secret? Would you like to know a little secret? Ah, another January, baby! Sharon's part of the Cappy Club. Would you guys like to know a little secret? I am picking up keys tomorrow to a certain place where we will have so much space, so much room for activities, meaning expanding product lines, meaning new goodies on the website, meaning I'm so excited. All the things. Now, won't be open to the public for a little while because in August I'm literally not home. I'm home maybe 6 days. So, but the good thing about it is, so excited. So, whenever we get everything set in and ready, because it's going to be a shit show trying to move with this heat. Y'all know I will give you a tour. Y'all know I will give you a tour. I can't wait. So excited. Okay, sorry. I'm just so excited. So like in 12 hours, I go pick up the keys. So if you guys are in or around Tulsa in this fall, y'all will be able to come and see us. So, all right. Miss Sharon Brown. Alrighty. You also were born under a retrograde. Vesta retrograde. And your Vesta, when you were born, was right on your 10th and 11th house line in Leo. Okay. With your Neptune. Ooh, you have a no bullshit meter. Yep, you have a no bullshit meter. Interesting. I was looking to see which one you were on here. Nope, not for the NOLA shop. That will be spring. All the things. But I've got to have a place here because here's what sucks about Louisiana. Lotus is illegal there. And I work with a lot of Lotus, as you guys know. In fact, I just ordered in red Lotus from my supplier, and I can't wait to try it out and see what kind of new goodies we can make with that. So. Oh, is this your mom, Amberly? So, Miss Sharon. Yeah. Being that you're a Virgo. Yeah. Your Neptune was in retrograde when you were born. Like, you see through people's bullshit a mile away. You see through people's bullshit a mile away. There is a Lotus Festival in Los Angeles. Why has no one told me this? Why has no one told me this? Why is this a thing that I didn't know about? I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed. I will absolutely be looking that up. So, Blue Lotus is my favorite smell. I love it. It is a fantastic flower, and it's one of my favorite things. It really is. I love the pink. I love the blue. I love the white. I have never messed with the red, so we're about to do that. All right. All right. Back to Miss Sharon. Focus. Focus. All right. Okay. So your Vesta does move out of your Leo, but it moves into your Cancer. Your Neptune's still right there behind it, along with your Pluto, but they're Leo and Virgo. Okay. You know what? Why would I say that? You're not a Virgo, you're a Capricorn. I was like, wait, that's incorrect. That is incorrect, my dude. All right. I had to correct my own self. If anything, us Cappies are nothing but perfectionists. Stubborn ass, grudge holding, perfectionists. I'm just saying. All right. I'm just saying. Okay. So, Miss Sharon. So, your Vesta has moved into Cancer. Your Neptune is still in Leo. Both of them are now in your 9th house. Your 9th is your... Okay. It's your belief system. It's your higher education. It's your traveling. So where this is really, really going to affect you is your belief system. Being that Neptune is that illusion planet, and that you were born when it was in retrograde, when Vesta was in retrograde, and you have a no bullshit meter, you have never been one to reach out with goals and stuff that you knew couldn't be achieved. Does that make sense? Like, you set small goals and you bust through them. Small goals, bust through them. In fact, I would bet you have an amazing little to-do list all the time and you just bust through the shit continually. But here's the thing. Since your Vesta is moving into Cancer, you're going to really be diving down your belief system. The things that you learned as a kid, the things that you knew as a kid, what you've learned throughout your life, you're going to be kind of taking stock of all the knowledge you've acquired thus far. And not only all the knowledge you've acquired thus far, but you're going to have some moments where you catch yourself tearing up and going, what the hell am I crying about this for? It's because your Vesta's in Cancer. And so a lot of this nostalgic ways of looking at the things you've learned throughout life, you're going to be, here's the thing. You've learned a fuck ton of shit. And you're going to be realizing that. You're going to be realizing you are the expert in a lot of things. You are the expert in so many areas because you've been doing these things for so long. So it's going to be like a good cry. Does that make sense? It's not going to be like a bad cry. It's a good cry. But it's just going to hit you, make you kind of emotional a little bit, like, oh my God, I know my shit. You know, instead of just that, I know my shit, it's going to be like, oh my God, I know that. Like that kind of feeling. You're going to be very proud of yourself. You're going to be very proud of yourself at the things you've learned, the things that have stuck with you through the years. You're also going to be, I would bet you end up kind of diving down some nostalgic rabbit holes, either with movies, with TV, with books, or with learning more about some of those things. Does that make sense? Because, yeah, Cancer is an interesting sign for a Vesta to be placed in, just because it's so nostalgic, and Cancers tend to be very, very nostalgic and sentimental. So it's going to be a really good retrograde for you. Like, I don't really see anything here that makes me think anything. I think it's just going to be fantastic for you. And I think you're going to have a ton of self-realizations that you need. It's going to give you a lot of confidence that you need. So, it's going to be a great retrograde for you. Just is. Just is. So, make sure you celebrate shit. Tacos, cupcakes, you know, mega pint, whatever. You're welcome. You're welcome. Make sure you celebrate. Amber, make sure she celebrates. Okay? So when she calls you one day or texts you and is like, you know, I didn't realize blah, 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 blah. I know this. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Yeah. Make sure that, make sure you celebrate. Yeah, all the tacos and cupcakes. And see, Dawn's all about it. More tacos. All the tacos. I like that. I like that Sharon's like, yeah, all the tacos. Oh my God, that's so funny. Y'all are cracking me up this evening. All right, Teresa Maciel. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, there we go. Whew. Oh, mess something up. Oh, us Cappies don't stop for shit. In fact, I think the, you know, the saying, you know, I'll sleep when I'm dead or what, I think that was a Cappy that said that. I'm sorry. It had to have been. It had to have been. I don't got time for that. Anytime I've had to go to the hospital for anything, like that's the thing that comes out of my mouth the most is I don't have time for this. All right, Miss Teresa, ready? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, but when you Tauruses do sit down, like there ain't nothing that's moving you. There ain't nothing that's moving you. Hey, Christine. They are, but some of them still weren't. They were still billing at the higher price. So that's why you got a refund. So if those of you guys, some of you were like, why did I get a Bodhi box refund? It's because they still billed you at the higher price and the other one. So we refunded you the wrong one. Does that make sense? So yes, you're still getting one, I promise. I can't wait. I wish I could show you guys a couple of the little goodies that I found to put in the boxes this month. But I can't. I can afterwards. I'll totally do a video of the Bodhi boxes this month because I'm sometimes I buy stuff and I'm like, oh my god, this is the cutest fucking thing ever. So yeah. I'm just letting you guys know you may or may not be getting an absolute Bodhi nerdy buy. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right. But I digress. I will totally put out a video after we get the boxes together. So we had something that we ordered for them and half of it is waiting in customs. So it's supposed to be here tomorrow and we're not happy about it because we like these to go out on the 5th. So they're a couple days late because customs is stupid because they were ordered 2 months ago. Not happy. Unhappy Bodhi. Okay. Miss Teresa, I digress. Where's your Vesta? Ooh, look at you. It's so funny. Even before I saw that you're a Gemini, your chart is so dualistic. It's like, so where your Vesta is, it's right underneath the 1. So the line between the 12 and the 1 is one of the big lines on the chart. And on top of that, you have Pluto and then you have Vesta. Well, your Pluto's in retrograde, but your Vesta is not. It's like opposite. And then you have, oh my gosh. You have so many things that are like boop, 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 boop. It is so funny. Even like where your sun sits, it's almost right on the line between 3 and 4, which is another huge line. And then you have your Jupiter on this side and your Mercury on this side. Meaning you war with yourself over... No, it wasn't a yawn. I had to get a deep breath. So I've realized, guys, I talk too fast sometimes and I hold my breath and then I go, oh God, I can't breathe. That's for all the yawning. So you really fight with yourself about your own personal power and then communication. Like you put these huge boundaries in place and you're like, I'm sticking to these boundaries. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And then you're like, oh, well, like as soon as you say, I'm not going to explain myself. I'm not going to do this. Then you're like, blah, 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 blah. Like you war with yourself so much. So, okay. I digress. It's just funny. Like I can tell you are a Gemini just from looking at your chart before I ever saw you were a Gemini. You're adorable. Okay. And I didn't mean that like bless your heart. I didn't mean that like that. So don't take it that way. So, all right. Ready? So your Vesta is just barely under your 1 line when you were born, which is, there's a yawn. There you go. I was trying to take a deep breath and it was like, so your first house, and it's humongous in your chart too. It really affects you a lot. How others see you, your outer appearance. Like you really over worry, sweetheart, about how others see you. I mean, I understand a lot of us do it, but yeah, you really over worry about things. So your Vesta is still in your first house. I fast forwarded it to today. Your Vesta is still in your first house. However, it's in Scorpio. So, here's the problem I see. Here's the problem I see. Being that it's in Scorpio and you were not born during a retrograde, you're going to be peacocking a little bit. Dressing out, doing the things, looking the good, and not just good, but like looking amazing. And you're going to feel the need to do it before you ever even step out where anybody can see you. But what I will say is, if somebody has the balls to say anything to you, I feel bad for them, because your Vesta is in Scorpio, and being that it's in retrograde, like I said, I feel sorry for anybody who says anything about your outfit, about the way that you're carrying yourself, about the way that anything is going. Like, they're going to get the wrath if they do. They're going to get the wrath if they do. And truthfully, I think that's fantastic for you, because this is going to be a time that's very, very freeing, and allowing you to fully step into who you are. And not just fully step into who you are with how other people see you, but your outer personality that you put out to everyone. What was your... Damn it. Damn it. All right, let me go back here. Damn it. I would like for you to work, please. Please. There we go. There we go. Much better. Okay. So, here's what I saw when I looked at that. I looked at that and I was like, wait, that doesn't look correct. So, I had you born on June 6th in the year 1064. Not that I was trying to give out your birthday just then. I'm so sorry. But I had you born in 1064. And I was like, wait, what? What's funny is your birth chart's almost exact same 900 years later. The only thing that moved is your Aries moved between your Jupiter and your Mercury. So if one was a vampire, if you were a vampire, I'm just saying, your chart didn't change much. And literally, it's still the dualistic. Like, I would still look at this and go, oh, you're a Gemini. So, if Teresa was a vampire, born in 1064, she has not changed much throughout the years. Oh, Lord. So it actually changes completely what I was saying, because your Vesta is not in your first house. It's in your 11th house. So I'm glad I saw that, because I was like, why does that look wrong? Because it was actually almost 1,000 years ago at this point. Like, what the fuck, man? Okay, so let's start over. Let's start over. Your Vesta is actually in Pisces, and it's in your 11th house. And okay, your Pisces in your 11th house is your hopes and wishes and your groups that you are close to and so on. I'm not as worried about the groups aspect, because being in Pisces, that Vesta in retrograde, it's not going to affect you that much. I mean, it will, in that you could decide that you don't want to be a part of that group anymore, just randomly. But I don't really see that happening that much. The thing that I do see is this is with your hopes and wishes. Being that this is in Pisces, you're going to have to be careful to not I almost said overthink your dreams, but that's not quite correct. It's like, make these big goals, these big plans, and not think about how to get there. But yet just firmly, let's just do it. You know what I mean? Like, not plan out and put the 5 steps into place that you need to get to the end. And so it's just like running blindly towards some huge goal that takes so much planning to get to. So that's going to be the only thing that I would worry about, because also it's kind of in, there's anywhere. I'm talking too much and not getting oxygen to my brain. It is like directly lined with your Mercury, which is in Virgo. So be careful not to, this is going to be weird, but listen, be careful not to over communicate what you want to do to other people, because unfortunately, people will take your ideas and they will run with them now. They don't care. There's no loyalty. There's no honesty there with a lot of people. So don't announce your plans. If you make a big goal, don't announce your plans, okay? Because in making a big goal and announcing it, you're going to ping the interest of people, unfortunately. Because I have a feeling that you've had something that's kind of been rolling around in there, goal-wise, and you're about to be able to put it into words, to be able to put it down on paper. So when you do that, take a step back and go, okay, I need to set the stones in place so I can get there. But you're going to have to make sure that you don't over communicate that to people. I mean, give them a vague idea. Does that make sense? Give them a vague idea of what you're working towards. Like, I want to open a shop someday. Someday is vague, and a shop is vague. You see what I'm saying? Somebody said it's sad that that's what our society has become. It is. It is. Unfortunately, you can't announce your plans until they're done, basically, which sucks. So, but Miss Teresa the vampire, you will forever be known in my head as Miss Teresa the vampire. I'm just letting you know. It's a thing. It is. It's a thing. It's a thing. Just let it happen. But yeah, that's the only thing I see, love, is to make sure that if you set that big goal, make sure that you stop and set the little ones to get there. Set the plans in motion. So I'm glad that makes sense. I'm glad that makes sense. Yeah, it's you got your own nickname, love. All right, Mariah White. So I have Mariah White, Amy Jensen, and then Lori Ann Brown. All right, let's see here. I have Miss Mariah in my charts. Yeah, it is sad that that's what the world is coming to, and it sucks. Alrighty, you get a new chart. I don't understand this. Like, sometimes, like, I literally copy the birthday over and click and paste. And sometimes it does your whole thing, and other times it doesn't. It's so funny. Mariah's did fine. It's like, yep. But with Miss Teresa's, she became a vampire. So she became a vampire. Alrighty. Miss Mariah. Ooh. So your Vesta is in your 8th house, and it's in Gemini when you were born. And it is tied into a lot of things. Okay. You're really a caring person. And I don't mean just like you care about other people. Like you are that person that if you care about somebody, you would do anything for them. And I know people are like, well, anybody's like that. No, they're not. Mariah is one of those like super people that when she cares about somebody, all of her time and energy goes into it. Like I would bet you even kind of lose yourself in some relationships because it's tied into so many things. 6 different things in your chart. It's tied all over the place. It's tied to your Mars, which is your intimacy, your passion, your drive, your goals, and being that it's in that 8th house with intimacy already, like, yeah. Yeah. You have to be careful not to lose you in relationships, even if it's family, friends, etc. All right. Let's see how this is going to affect you. Okay. So, the good thing is there's not a lot of ties with anything else here. Your Vesta moves up into Cancer, but it moves into the 7th house, which is partnerships. So, you're going to have to be careful that you don't get over emotional with some of the people in your life. Whether it's significant other, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whatever it is. Cancer is an emotional sign anyway. And being that this is nostalgic and it's upside down, topsy-turvy, you're going to have a problem being overly emotional in the wrong way. Does that make sense? Overly emotional in the wrong way. So be really careful with that because it can make you snap at some people. It can make you over clingy. It can make you act out of character. Like you are a very loyal, very caring person to the point, like I said, you can lose yourself. But this is going to make you kind of uncharacteristically emotional in the opposite way. And then later you're going to look back and go, what? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't feel that way. So be careful with that. So be careful with that. What I would say is really implement, there it is. I knew a yawn was coming because I'm not breathing when I'm talking. Okay. Implement yourself. Your Vesta is at 4 degrees, so just use number 4. Before you respond to anything, whether it is emotional, mental, whatever it is, count to 4. Like literally count to 4. Not 1, 2, 3, 4. But you know what I mean? Like count to 4 before you say anything or do anything. Because Cancers, like I said, they can be very, very emotional. They can also just shut down. So, and I don't think either one of those things is where you normally are. So it's going to be very out of character for you. So be really careful with that because you can end up driving some friends, some family. I don't know if you're attached, significant otherwise or not, but you can be driving some people away. Even if you're not attached and it's just people you're dating, like you're going to drive some people away if you're not careful. So before you respond to a text, before you respond to a comment, anything at all, give yourself 4 seconds. You know what I mean? Like really take a breath and think about it. So yeah. So remember, 4 seconds. 4 seconds. The good thing is, though, like I said, it's not tied to anything else. It's floating on its own now, whereas when you were born, it's tied to everything. So that's the good aspect, and that this is not going to affect everything. You're not going to be over emotional about everything, just about those specific areas. Partnerships, friendships, things like that. So yeah. Does that make sense? Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. I would bet you're already feeling it. I would bet you're already feeling it. And so have you snapped at anybody yet? Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Because a lot of times... Wait. Oh, you're a Pisces. You're pretty happy-go-lucky. Okay. You're pretty happy-go-lucky. So, yeah. So, it's going to be super out of character for you when these things pop up. Yeah, it's going to even feel out of character for you. But, like, as this retrograde goes forward a little bit, like, within a couple weeks or so, you're going to not be noticing it as much as you will be in this next week, 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Because it is going to be so out of character for you. So I love me some Pisces. You guys are, what's funny is you guys, I'm going to say it this way. You guys are super happy-go-lucky until you're not. And then it's like throwing a fit because you're not. It's so funny. I love you, Pisces. I love y'all, Pisces. All right. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. All right, let's see. Another Cappy. All the Cappies. This ought to tell you something right here. This ought to tell you something right here. There has been an overwhelming amount of Cappies that I've read for this evening. That ought to tell you right there what a perfectionist a Cappy is. I want to know everything about everything. So, I think that's really funny. I think that's really funny. Like, I shared, I was looking at my Facebook memories, right? And I shared this meme about, signs if they were stuck on a desert island. And the Cappies was, wouldn't be stupid enough to get stuck on a desert island. And I was like, yep. Yep. So, over preparers, always prepared. So, yeah, I saw that today and I cracked up. I was like, yeah, exactly spot on. We over prepare and we would not be, we're not getting stuck anywhere. Well, that was weird. My YouTube went off and back on. Okay. Hi, YouTube. I'm glad that I didn't lose y'all. So. Alrighty. I'm a sneeze. What the hell? Damn. That was one of those sneezes where I think I could feel my eyeballs actually leave my body. You'd pick a Cappy companion any day. We would build a mansion within like a week. I'm just saying. And it would be perfect. We would also be the ones, if we got stuck on a desert island, we probably would choose to be there. You know what I mean? Like, we would also have a stash of all kinds of weird shit. Like, oh, look, I brought a lighter and some glasses and this. And we would pull out all this weird shit. Y'all just know. Be like, where the fuck did you even hide that? So, yeah, Aquariuses are the same way. Yeah, Aquariuses are the same way. Alrighty. Miss Amy Jensen, you ready? So, I actually put your birth year in correct. So, your Vesta, you were born under a retrograde too. Okay, your Vesta is in Leo, and it's in retrograde when you were born. And it is tied into a few different things, okay? Okay. It's actually tied into your Mercury and your Sun, as well as your Venus. So it really has, it really has an effect on you. And it's up on the line, like almost, well, it's on the line, but still in the 11th house. Okay. It really, really affects how you see things. Like you're super cynical about groups. You're super cynical about careers, about hopes and wishes. In fact, I would bet you are that person that makes a goal or whatever, or, you know, says, man, I'd love to be an astronaut one day. And then literally in the next breath goes, but it's not going to happen. So why would I even, like, you're that person. Like, you are super cynical about shit. Okay. All right. Girl. Okay. I get it. I mean, it's not, I hate to say it this way, it's not your fault. It's just being born under a retrograde in Leo, like you are just completely like, I bet you can ruin anybody's day with just one little sentence. Like they could be having the best day ever and you could be like, oh yeah, well, blah, blah, blah happened today. And pull out like the worst thing ever. And then they're like, what? Yeah. All right. So let's look at, oh, ready? Good night, hippie mama. All right, now. So your Vesta is directly on the line between Leo and Cancer. Technically, it's just a hair on the Cancer side. But it is in your 9th house, and your 9th house right now is really humongous. It's really affecting you. So 9th is your belief system, your travel, your higher education. With you, again, I feel like education is a huge thing right now. I also feel like your belief system is a huge thing right now. Since you were born during a retrograde, this is going to be a good thing for you. But here's my advice. Don't be too cynical about your own beliefs, okay? Don't be too cynical about your own beliefs. The things that you've learned, the things that you know, the things that you've experienced. Don't be too cynical about those things. Give yourself some credit. But you are really going to be looking at your belief system and learning about things that fell by the wayside when you were younger. Does that make sense? So there's going to be some things that maybe you almost got obsessed with when you were younger, and then it fell off the wayside, and now you're going to be obsessed with them again. They're going to pop up randomly out of nowhere, and you're going to be like, man, I haven't thought of that in like 10 years. You're going to be falling down the rabbit hole on some things that you haven't thought about in a long time. The thing is, it's going to be a fantastic thing for you. It's going to make you really happy. It's going to make you really, really happy. So your Vesta is still tied into your Mars. It's also tied into your Neptune. Okay, so that's interesting. Because Neptune is your illusion planet. It's also tied into your Jupiter. Okay. So it's going to affect you in a lot of different ways. This retrograde is actually going to be really good for you because it's going to set you on a different path when you come out of it. The things that you delve down, the things that changes in you, and the things you learn about yourself as you're delving down these rabbit holes of things that you used to want to learn about, it's really going to change your path. It's going to shift your path in a wonderful way. In a wonderful way. And I think at first, some people are not going to understand when you make some changes around you. Like maybe switch jobs or move, or, I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be some interesting changes. But it's going to be a fantastic thing for you. A very fantastic thing for you. Just so you know. In fact, out of all the ones that I've said this is going to be a good thing, this is going to be a really good thing for you. It's going to be a really good thing for you. So, congratulations, Miss Amy. Again, all the tacos and the cupcakes and, you know, whatever mega pint of your choice. Thank you, Miss Kim. I appreciate that. Alrighty then. Let's see who we got next. Yeah. I was waiting to see. There you go. All right, Miss Lorianne Brown, you ready? Oh, have you been thinking about a move already? So for those who got it on YouTube, Amy said, it's interesting you mentioned moving. There's Miss Lorianne. Well, I already had your chart up, Lori, or I already had it in here, so you don't have to worry about me making you born in 1064. Just saying. Alrighty. So with you, your Vesta is in Pisces, and it is in your 7th house, along with your Jupiter, which is your marriage, your significant other, your partnerships, your friendships, meaning that those things are intensely important to you. Intensely important to you. Yours is also super tied in with your, almost at Aries, with your Mars and your Neptune. Okay. You're really a great friend, sister, daughter, wife, mom, whatever, because being that this is tied in with your Neptune, like you use fantasy and so on to make things better for the people you care about. Like, I would bet you can come up with some super interesting shit. All right. Woo! Let me go back. That was crazy. So your chart when you were born has a big triangle in the middle, a little triangle down here, but it's pretty simple, right? Now, however, when I look at today, it's like a star on top star on top star. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy, girl. All right, where is your Vesta? There it is. Oh, it's in Aries. Oh, so is Jupiter. And it's in your 6th house. Okay. Your 6th house is the type of work you want to do. It's also your service to others, your nurturing, and your health. So I don't know if you heard me talk to other people whose Vesta we talked about in their 6th house. But with you, I don't think health-wise it's going to be as important as work-wise. Being that it's in retrograde. And it's in Aries. You're going to have to fight making snap decisions about your career. Oh, another one. You're going to have to really fight making snap decisions. You're going to have to fight making snap decisions about the people that you nurture, the people that you love, the people that that you really care about. You know what I mean? You're going to have to really, really fight making snap decisions about things. Like I said, health-wise, I don't think that it's going to do a crazy amount. I mean, you might, I would say be careful making snap decisions about, you know, hey, I should eat a whole 6-pack of cupcakes. You know, like that, those kind of decisions. Like, be careful on the things that you decide to eat, or the things that you're like, yes, that sounds good, I'll eat a whole pizza. You know what I mean? Like, be careful on those things. But I don't think health-wise this is going to affect you in a crazy way. It's going to affect you in career-wise and how you nurture other people. Because it's still tied. In fact, your Vesta is tied to even more now than it was. So, I mean, you can just Be careful. Like, don't eat 10 tacos at once. Just eat 4 or 5 or 8. Thank you for that. So, yeah. Just make sure. Just be careful diet-wise. Let me say it that way. Just be careful diet-wise. But, yeah, you're going to have to be careful, Lori, with making snap decisions about how you nurture others. And also, career-wise, what you want to do going forward. Because being that that's in Aries, you are easily going to be ready to make some snap decisions on things you've worked at for a very long time, and people around you are going to say, wait, what? It's almost like, I feel like I need to do a 180 and then a 360. And so people around you are going to go, huh? Like, they're not going to understand. You can just tell them Vesta's in retrograde and I need tacos. I need tacos. So, how's that? How's that? But I will say your chart got extremely complicated. Your positions got extremely complicated, and they are interestingly spread out. They look like spokes on a wheel. So yeah. So yeah. Your sun is also in Virgo right now. That's what caught my eye, and that's what I was looking at. Your sun is also in Virgo right now, meaning that you're going to be very analytical about everything. So even if you make snap decisions, you're going to be able to justify them. So just be careful. Because sometimes just because we can justify them doesn't mean we should do them. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So getting into balance for your next phase. Well, be careful that you don't try to jump into the next phase too soon, if that makes sense, because you're gonna feel the need to really badly. So yeah. So I'm watching my Bodhi Wranglers with they're talking about food. You also talk about food, make me hungry. So, if you can, Jay said, if you can eat unlimited tacos, don't fight there. I'm going to have to agree with you there. As great as that sounds, I think that would be, horrendous on your stomach and your psyche. Because think about it, if you eat unlimited tacos, oh my God. The Vesta retrograde, the only time that it's causing a problem for people with snap decisions is if their Vesta is in Aries. And a lot of people tonight, their Vesta was in Aries. And I kind of was looking to see, because like the first couple people that their Vesta was in Aries, they were born the same year, like pretty close together. So I thought, okay, well, maybe it's people around that, but I don't think so, because yeah. Oh, I know. I'm seriously considering making myself some tacos. Yeah. I know. I'm a huge DoorDasher. Like, I DoorDash way too much. I haven't been lately because either my order's messed up or I haven't felt good after I ate every single time. So I'm kind of like, okay, I think I'm done with that. I still do. Don't get me wrong. And I pay for it later, but I still do. So, all the tacos. Well, let me end this here on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, with all the taco emojis. I love you, Penny. All right. So if you guys need to watch your readings